Good morning, YouTube and fellow listeners across the nation. If you're watching this as a rerun, you can skip ahead about 12 minutes and we can get everything done that way. So giddy up. Good to have you along here this morning. Let's see if Beck's available here. Morning, Waylon. I'm running behind this morning. Had some audio stuff I had to get figured out. What was her number, wasn't it? Morning, Karen. That's the right number.
Thank you for calling. You've reached Rebecca Wan.
Yeah, see? That one didn't work. Morning, Scott. Let me try the secondary number here. We'll get it. It's a slow morning here today. I'm getting rolling. Sun's coming up here. Oh,
Hey, sorry, Scott. We were trying to get something set up and we were having a malfunction on our end.
Okay.
What kind of time? I suppose we're going live in about 2 minutes, aren't we?
No, it'll be a little bit longer here. I'm having a little issues on my end here. I'm gonna have to
Okay.
Let me give you a call back here, Tigger, okay? Hold on a second.
Yeah. Call either one of ours.
You bet.
Okay.
Good morning. Go out. Yeah. All right. Okay, Todd. I'll come up with something else, Todd. Okay. I don't know how, but I will, man. I'll figure it out somehow very quickly here. All right. Got some issues going on. So, YouTube, stick with me here. I'll get her done here. I'll make some phone calls here quicker. Stay with me here, YouTube. Thanks, Wayne. Jim, good morning. Good to see you guys here. I'm just taking care of some issues here. So, having some competition on the radio side of things. I got to redo my show here. We'll figure it out somehow, some way. We'll get her done somehow, huh? One way or another. I didn't realize there's a competing show going on there with Beck and Tigger on some other stuff. I had no idea. I'm out of the loop, man. Oh, good grief. Yeah, an hour long grind my gears. I could sure do that. I could fill that in here, but good grief. I'm out of the loop out here. Huh. Which isn't always all bad. Not always a bad deal. Got plenty of going on here. Plenty going on. We had them on not until 10 in the morning. Yeah. I think you'd run a different show. Evidently, Big Daddy Dave, they got like a morning show in the same town as a competing station. So I didn't know that. So we will make that work here. That's okay. Sometimes life happens. And you just got to deal with it, right? Why can't we all just get along? I know. It's a bummer. What do you do? Life moves on. What are you doing this morning? Nope. I need a first half guest on the radio, and you're going to be the guy. So I'll be calling you from my home studio here shortly, like really, really quick. Okay. 275-2755. Yep. I'll do that. All right. Bye. See, when you got good friends that like to hunt, we can make it work. Life sometimes we just need to get it all. But I understand the competition thing. I do. I get it. I don't like competition being aired on my same thing either.
Hello.
Good morning. You're live on YouTube.
Good morning, YouTubers.
.tube. I didn't realize the people I were going to have on have a competing radio show in the morning. So, yeah, we have to
Audible.
Shuffling things around here. I'm really close to starting up here. Where am I at? Minute and a half there, buddy. So, all right. I got to take my ivermectin, or otherwise I'm going to be sick the rest of the day.
Just won't survive, huh?
Just can't survive.
Yeah, it's quite the addiction you got.
I do. My weekly addiction.
Yes, sir.
I'm supposed to die like years ago on this, though.
In theory, huh?
In theory. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty sure I'm happy that deer season, rifle season closed up.
Yep. South Dakota's got 2 more days. But
for West River, yep.
Yeah, we still got pheasant hunters.
Yeah, that's right. You guys got pheasant down there. Sometimes that sinks life doesn't move on. Yeah, I got you. All right, we're going to lock you in here. 30 seconds. Stand by, John. 7:05:30 on that comment right there. 20 seconds to go on Mark. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors this morning here, as broadcasting from a little piece of heaven in the Badlands here. So going to have a little change of program if you're on the YouTube side of things, a little change in things here. So it's okay. I'm just doing some text messaging, getting things organized, kind of a runaround here. John Polcheski, a neighbor of mine, a neighbor that's 75 miles away. Good morning, John. How are you?
Good morning, Scott. I'm
All right.
doing great.
Do you want to know the issue? I don't like leaving people in the dark. I had some folks coming on, but I didn't realize they had a competing radio show. So I had to cancel them out here in the last minute. So I'm sorry that I have relied on, you know what, John will be there for me, but you are, and I appreciate that. So, and maybe Jamie will jump in here later on in the second half, and he wants to talk about guns, I'm sure. So we'll do that too. So thanks, man. Appreciate you being there, especially I know you're busy feeding cattle and everything this morning. But are you shooting?
Yes.
Are you shooting coyotes? Is a big question I got to ask you.
Yeah, we are shooting coyotes. They are as thick as they have been the last 3-4 years, I guess. And we had that early snow, and then they sure appeared everywhere, and we got after them pretty good here. I got seven cleaned out just a mile east of my house, all within a half mile of each other, and I think I still got 3-4 more left over there. I've been hanging around some cornfield and take care of yet. But
all right, so big question is the first question: why there seems to be more coyotes this year than there ever has been? Why do you think that is?
I think it's the same as they have been the last 3 years, Scott. It's just we had that snow before deer season, and everybody out deer hunting. They're like, "Oh my God, look at all these coyotes!" I'm like, "Coyotes have always been here, you guys. You weren't seeing them because we didn't have all this snow cover to make them appear so easy."
Yeah, they do blend
That's
in
my
when you don't
theory.
have snow cover. That's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about that. Now, the second question is, coming from a farming and ranching side that you do on the North and South Dakota side, both sides of the state line, how important is keeping those coyotes under control? Because not only do you run cattle, you're running sheep too.
Yeah, it's an ongoing battle to keep the population under control with the amount of livestock that we have that are vulnerable to these coyotes. You just got to carry a gun year round and hope you get a little help from the state trappers and a few local trappers to help keep that population under control a little bit.
You have a little bit different rules in your South Dakota versus North. I mean, you're on the border running both sides. You have a little bit of difference that you can do here. South Dakota is very open about other people with their airplanes being able to go out there.
Right.
North Dakota, you have to have an official do it. And,
on the North Dakota side, we have to have the state trapper come and fly the property. But South Dakota, it's more of a common sense approach to help the livestock producers out.
So how many coyotes do you get a year, would you say? Right now, you're probably up to 20?
Yeah, in theory, in my mind, I'd always like to get that 100 mark, but we usually fall right around that 50 mark. But when you got young kids and sporting events, it just takes a little more time. But if I could just hunt full time, I bet I could get up to 200. But
yeah,
there's other life that happens. So
well, my neighbor, he traps like 300 a year in the same area. And that's the thing. It's a renewable resource. And somebody told me one time that if the more coyotes you take, the more they'll reproduce. I don't know if that's true or not.
Yeah, I suppose it kind of goes with any animal. The more the habitat, the more the feed. So like that's why we're always got full numbers of coyotes down here. We live right on the river, and there's always feed along the river.
Yeah,
just kind of like your area up there. You're right in the Little Missouri, and there's just always more feed along the Missouri River.
Yeah, especially last year during EHD, I think every coyote was so tired of venison they had to finally start hunting rabbits. They were sick of eating venison.
Right.
You didn't get hit with that EHD. Waylon says his youngest brother that's what he does. He shoots them from the plane. He's hired to do that. Where do I get that job at, John?
Boy, I'm sure we can make a few phone calls. It wouldn't take long to find you a plane to be able to shoot out. But
well, I'd have to go to South Dakota though.
Well, it's not that far away, is it?
That's true. I could do it in Montana possibly,
I mean,
too.
you can come down here, have coffee, and cook some breakfast, and I'll kick you across the border, and you can hop in a plane.
Breakfast? I haven't had that in a long time here. One says all the coyotes keep coming in from California right now. That's where they're coming from.
Who said this?
Garden Corn Robbery goes by with his messages.
Oh, boy.
I don't know.
Sticky finger garden guy, huh?
I guess so, but you can blame California a lot of things. One thing that we do have in the western side of North and South Dakota, eastern side of Montana, is it's proven we have the best coyotes in the entire nation. And
yeah, I'm sure the ones I've taken the last 2 weeks, they're sure haired up nice, and they sure got nice fur on them this year. But there is no market for the fur, so we just kind of
there isn't not a
put
thing.
them pack them up and put them in a pit and let them lay there, I guess.
So Jesse sent me. He talked to the guys at Petska, and here it is. I have kind of an all around average. What's going on here is it's not very good, John. I'll tell you that.
No.
Carcass, if they're nice and heavy, anywhere from $1 to $10. If they're finished, $5 to $10. So not a whole lot of money going on there, but we knew that was coming because last year during the whole pandemic thing, everything was closed down across the entire world. Every sale that I auctioned, everybody no-sailed their stuff, or a good majority of people no-sailed it. But even the people that bought it, they had nowhere to go with theirs. I think people are sitting on a ton of coyotes right now. Plus, like we were discussing, a lot of these trappers, they're still gonna do their thing this year. They're not going to stop trapping just because the price is terrible. They're going to still do. So I think the market is going to be there's going to be such an influx, kind of like the raccoon market years ago too.
Can you verify? I think one of the first bombs that went off in Russia, Ukraine, it actually blew up one of the biggest fur shed that they put up furs over there.
Well, I have no idea. I'd have to do some research on that, but I wouldn't doubt it.
I think that's part of the problem. And then obviously we're not going to do any business with Russia right now with the way things are over there in our administration. And
well, you and I wouldn't, but you don't know about our administration. They might do business. They might be doing business right now.
I don't know if they can even tie their shoes by themselves right now.
We can't get political, can we? Yeah, we can. Yeah. That's right, we can.
No, so one of the first coyotes we shot this year, I called one in, and my 8-year-old boy was able to put his first coyote down.
8-year-old?
Yep.
So what does an 8-year-old shoot for a rifle?
Just a little 223 Savage, that little Rancher model, or the Ruger Rancher.
That's
I can't remember. One boy's got a Ruger and one boy's got a Savage. I always get them mixed up on who's got what, but it's just a cute little rifle. But that's a Ruger, the Ruger Rancher.
All right, on a 223 platform, a bolt action, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Okay, so
yep.
Did he get nervous? I mean, tell us the story.
No, the kid was cool as a cucumber because he's been watching Dad do it, and he's been watching those Randy Anderson hunting movies, and we seen him come off the hills and went down the stubble fields. We drove back around and walked about a quarter mile in next to some trees, and I don't think it took me about 7-8 minutes to get that coyote to come right at us, and started circling downwind. I asked Sammy boy, I said, "You on him?" He says, "Yep." I said, "Kill him." Boom! It's all over with.
He was ready for it.
Yeah, I was not ready for the shot to go off, but it went off.
Well, now you're gonna have to get him suppressed too. Get all the rifles suppressed in your household.
Yep, yeah, they're all threaded. It's just a matter of getting down and getting a couple more suppressors ordered. So.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, stay with me here, John. We'll come back another 10-minute segment here in Dakota Prairie Outdoors on a Saturday edition. Talking coyote hunting, we're also going to talk about deer hunting, as his family did pretty darn good during the rifle season as well. We'll talk more outdoors right here, Dakota Prairie Outdoors, all across the Dakota Territory, all the way from Pierre to Mobridge, Bismarck to Minot, and Dickinson. I'm Scott Bachmeyer. More coming up your way, Dakota Prairie Outdoors, after these messages. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
Did you know that Dakota Community Bank and Trust was recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks 2021? According to Newsweek, from over 2,500 FDIC-insured institutions, we are amongst the nation's top banks to serve our customers' needs in today's challenging times, ranking number one in North Dakota. We invite you to come bank with us. Stop in today to your nearest Dakota Community Bank and Trust and see what being America's best small bank is all about.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Morest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. It is the Saturday edition of Dakota Prairie Outdoors all across the Dakota Territory. KGFX Pierce, South Dakota, KOLY in Mobridge. We got K-Fire 550, the voice of the Northern Plains, and Bismarck, Mandan. 910 country. That's right. Or 91 country is dependent. When I worked at KCJB and Minot, we used both of them. And also KLTC out of Dickinson, North Dakota. Good to have you along. Bison Fire Department Coyote Calling Contest next weekend, Saturday, December 2nd and 3rd, Bison, South Dakota. The 6th annual Christmas for Kids Coyote Hunt is going on in Killdeer next weekend as well. We got a lot of them. I'm going to go through real quick before I get back to John here. The 2nd annual 3-Dog Coyote Calling Contest is going on next week and also at Ulrich's School Gym. 73 Saloon out of Phillips, South Dakota. Their tournament is next weekend as well. Then we go to the next one there. Lone Tree Saddle Club in Galva, North Dakota, December 9th and 10th. The Randy Rohde 6th Annual Memorial Statewide South Dakota Coyote Calling Contest, also Friday, December 9th and Saturday, December 10th. The Nellie's Mercantile and Saloon Coyote Calling Contest, Friday, December 9th and 10th, out of Nellie's Saloon in Eaning, South Dakota. 16th Annual Day County Coyote Hunt in Roslyn, South Dakota is going on December 9th, 10th, and 11th. The Forsyth, Montana FFA Coyote Derby is going on December 16th, 17th. The 7th Annual Predator Hunt in Esmond Volunteer Fire Department is going on December 17th. Dickinson, North Dakota is going to have theirs starting out the new year, January 7th, or 6th and 7th, rather. Pollock, South Dakota Men's 7th Annual Ice Fishing Tournament, February 11th and 12th. And that is the roundup right there. John Paul Chesky, farmer rancher out of the south of Scranton. I don't know, what would you call it? Gascoigne, South Dakota. I mean, you covered
we're
two.
down here in Haley Township.
Haley, that's right, Haley Township. So,
yeah.
As you heard, a lot. This is just the stuff that was sent to me, John. The coyote tournaments. There's coyote tournaments almost every single weekend from October until probably the end of February. And this is just a smattering of them.
I suppose we could see who's going to sponsor us about every week for tournaments and see what happens, huh?
Who is?
Well, we can put it out there who wants to sponsor us.
Well, here's the thing. We are the reigning Sturgis champions because when we won, that was the last tournament they held.
Well, I think last time we did Bison, we were runner-up, weren't we?
We were close. Yeah, that's right. We did Bison that one. Yes, yeah. That's right.
I bet we get Bulgy Farms to sponsor us for at least one tournament.
Well, Scott says, good morning, JP. So he is listening. I know that. And,
he's a pretty busy feller.
We could do that. So how about this? Is the hard thing about it is I'm not a great partner because I have a Saturday morning show. And right now we could have probably killed 4 or 5 coyotes here in the last 10, 15, 20 minutes.
Yep. Yeah. Well, it's a 3-man tournament in Bison, right?
Yes, it is.
Yep. Well, all right.
Well, I have something on Friday, but I don't have anything Saturday. So if we want to do that, we could get.
We'll have to watch the weather report.
Okay, it's going to get cold next week, man, or this coming week.
As long as it's not windy, I can handle cold.
Text message comes in, says, "What are you using for calls right now? You going manual? You going electronic? I know you're a manual guy. You're a mouth call guy. What are you using to bring coyotes in right now?"
Well, just a little rabbit distress and my little white open reed call, and that's all these pups need is a little bit of noise, and they're coming in on a string.
Are you getting any of the older dogs in there?
I haven't yet, just because this bunch over here east of my house is just a bunch of pups that got run together, and that's what we've been knocking out. It's all these young pups that are hanging out next to my sheep. So.
Mark Schriefer from Schriefer Red Angus, sale coming up at the last weekend in January, by the way, says, what's the return on the sponsorship investment on a coyote hunt?
Well, we can disclose that off the radio with Mark.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to disclose what the sponsorship
we can't give it all on the radio because then everybody wants to sponsor us.
That's true.
Then we'll have a situation.
That's true. That's right. And one of the I see what you're saying. So, but all right. You're coming in with distress calls is what you're bringing them in here. The older dogs, I'm having some older dogs in the East pasture again, John. You helped me clear that out 2 years ago, and I was losing a ton of calves. And we found the culprit. And since you took care of that one, my eyes were on a different coyote when you shot that other one. And since we took that one out, big female that was killing calves, it seems like everything worked out pretty well. Now,
I remember years back the government trap we had in South Dakota you can have coyotes next to your livestock as long as they're not killing nothing. He says, leave those coyotes be. Don't be shooting those coyotes that are trained not to eat your livestock until you have a problem, then wipe them out.
But I just like shooting coyotes. I don't care if they're eating or not.
No, that East pasture, we'll just split up and we'll just American Rancher sniper those buggers again.
American Rancher. I like it.
Sniper. Yep.
Sniper. I like it. We could do our own movie on that. Should be good stuff. You know, there's another thing you and I have always talked about is videoing what we do.
Oh yeah.
It's tough for a person to realize. You know, I talk to John Armin all the time, and he's like, you know, he says, it's a lot of work. He says you pass up a lot of opportunities because you feel that you got to get it on video.
I don't know. You know, that first set, my wife and I went out, and we had those 3 come in, and I just recorded my phone, and I did a pretty good job until I realized I needed to start shooting too, and then things got serious. But
that's the problem. We need to hire just maybe we can have Mark Schrafer just be our professional video guy.
Yeah. Yep. That would be a good place for him.
Every single day from October through let's say December.
Yeah, he says his wife's the cow boss up there, so I mean, farming's all done for the year, so he's probably got nothing going on.
How did deer season go for you, John? I know you guys did you didn't get hit with EHD last year because I think your herd is kind of immune to it from about 5-6 years ago.
I think finally after the last 20 years of getting it 6-7 times, our herd, I think, has built immunity from EHD. So we do still have a fair amount of deer down here, but we do have all the deer hunters as well.
Yeah. How did it go, though, for your family?
My wife was actually able to get a really nice 6x6 taken this year, so she was pretty tickled. You know, she grew up being an elk hunter, and this is her second year deer hunting. But she put some time in on a really cold day, and she had to sit in a spot for 4 hours, and it finally paid off right before dark. So
that's awesome, and a nice whitetail too, very nice whitetail. And
yep, is a good eater too. We ate half of them already. So.
A good eater. That's what, like the people that go fishing and they get a small walleye. Well, it's a good eater. I like that. It's a good eat. There's an eating size. One's right there. Yep. Yeah, I like that. Yeah. So you got your whitetail. How about your wife? Any of the kids? Did you get youth tags or anything yet with your girl?
No.
Or?
Next year, I think she decided she's ready to put a deer down. I guess so.
Good.
We'll get her a tag next year, and I don't know if she'll be 14 in August, so I don't know if she's just doe only or if she can get to that any deer at 14. Or I don't know when that cutoff is for the age. So
does she have her hunter safety?
Correct. She does have her hunter safety.
Then I think she's going to be on the specific one. So yeah. But how do you get your girl interested in hunting deer? Or is it come by naturally for her?
No, it's not naturally for the girls, but they're constantly changing, and she's finally changing into a young lady, so she's getting more involved of doing more non-Barbie girl doll stuff. So, and she's ready to go shoot a coyote too, but just got to get her out of bed on a Saturday morning to get out there in the field and get going. So,
14 years old. When is the age where they start rebelling?
3-4 years old.
Fair enough. This is coming from a guy that doesn't have kids, so I'm trying to ask here because you see a lot of kids into hunting side of things now, and it's kind of nice to see that what gets them interested in the whole works. And I don't know if it's got to be the radio program. I think is what it is.
It's got to be. Yep.
It's got to be.
Yep.
Got to be that.
The live Saturday shows from Scott Bachmeyer.
That's right. Well, I appreciate you bailing me out here and giving us a little coyote information from the South Dakota, North Dakota border. And looks like we got 2 possible sponsorships for the next 2 weekends for the tournaments.
Good. Good. Sounds great.
Well, one of them didn't comment. So Bulgy didn't comment, but we think he's going to be in.
Oh, he's in. He's in.
He's in. All right, man. Have yourself a good one. And we'll catch you maybe tonight at the NFR Calcutta.
All right. Sounds good, Scott.
You bet. Thanks a lot. John Paul Chesky, farmer rancher down on the South Dakota, North Dakota border. We're going to come back on the second half of the program, see if Jamie Breck will come on and talk a little bit about guns and have some spirited conversations as we see a few things come up and around the corner with gun control issues that we know with the last couple news events that have been in the media type of thing. How is that going to bring on, because now they're looking at, it's not just the modern sporting rifles that they're looking at, or what they call quote unquote assault rifles. They're looking at doing all semiotic firearms is what they're looking at doing this ban. We're going to see if that has any information or see what Jamie's got to say about that. Coming up your way, Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition after these. Rockin' 7W has all the panels you need. Freestanding panels, windbreak panels, feeder panels, and the original protester panel. If you don't know what that is, it's a sort panel that makes sorting calves from a cow a breeze. You can do it in a fraction of time with just one person on foot or horseback. You can custom order sizes to fit your current operation, or you can start from scratch. Rockin' 7W also does trailer repair on any size trailers, mobile welding, and custom cattle hauling. Call Justin at Rockin' 7W at 701-206-1030. That's 701-206-1030. Rockin' 7W, the farmer and rancher's go-to guy.
Did you know that Dakota Community Bank and Trust was recently named North Dakota's best small bank in Newsweek's America's Best Banks 2021? According to Newsweek, from over 2,500 FDIC-insured institutions, we are amongst the nation's top banks to serve our customers' needs in today's challenging times, ranking number 1 in North Dakota. We invite you to come bank with us. Stop in today to your nearest Dakota Community Bank and Trust and see what being America's best small bank is all about.
MoPro Guide Service, the best on Lake Oahe. Brent and his staff will give you the most enjoyable fishing experience, always having the latest in electronics, gear, and the most comfortable Lund boat on the water. Fish with somebody who lives in Mobridge, South Dakota, the heart of Lake Oahe. If you need a place to stay, the Mo Rest Motel has newly updated rooms with free internet, a family-owned and operated business. Go to OaheWalleyes.com. That's OAHE Walleyes.com for the best fishing experience Lake Oahe has to offer.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com. Western Frontier Insurance. Agents that understand you, your needs, and the community. Whether you're looking for coverage on your farm, ranch, home, or auto, you can trust that Western Frontier Insurance will find you a combination of price and coverage that works for you. No fancy jingles, no talking boxes or animals, just good neighbors helping to keep you covered. Western Frontier Insurance. Offices in Hazen, Washburn, and Wilton.
For over 80 years, Dakota Community Bank and Trust has been your locally owned hometown bank, an honor we take great pride in. And our customer satisfaction has always been our most important goal. We've gone along with the communities we serve and will continue to do so with our pledge of modern banking convenience with old-fashioned hometown service. From remote deposit options to online mortgage applications, we are happy to serve you wherever you are. Learn more at dakotacommunitybank.com. That's dakotacommunitybank.com.
It's every American's right to bear arms. At Mandan Sporting Goods, we're here to help you support your Second Amendment rights, which reads, a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Whether you're looking for a pistol for personal defense or collector gun, we have the staff to help you. We also have the area's largest inventory of ammo and reloading supplies.
Mandan Sporting Goods, the area's local gun and ammo specialists.
Pifer's Western team of Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby would like to invite you to sit down and talk about the future of land planning. Whether you're looking at selling, buying, or options to hand it down to the next generation, Andy and Jim will lay out all of the options for you. It's a great time to buy or sell, and with interest rates to make it profitable. Pifer's Western team, Andy Murdoch and Jim Sabby. For more information or land updates, go to pifers.com.
On that road, but don't you worry, one day I'll settle down. And when that time comes, I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around. I hope you're still around.
Welcome back, everybody. Dakota Prairie Outdoors Saturday edition continues here across the Dakota Territory, around the world on my YouTube channel as well. Thank you for tuning in, YouTube, at Dakota Prairie Outdoors Radio. This portion of the program brought to you by Freedom Repair as well. Whether it's a tractor, maybe you're looking at your air seeders, getting things ready for next year, maybe even some fall planting still that you might have going on. Check out Freedom Repair. They come to you. They help you get fixed up at your place, back in the field, ready to go. Over 18 years of experience. Lucas Kelly is his name. Veteran owned and operated, a former Marine himself. Freedom Repair. You can call him at 701-440-1945. That again is 701-440-1945. It is Freedom Repair. Jamie Breck from the Guns and the 701 podcast comes and joins me this morning. Jamie, good morning.
Morning. How you doing, Scott?
Well, I had to do a little scrambling this morning, but like I said, it's always nice to have friends that all they do is eat, breathe, sleep, and drink, hunting, and shooting things. So it's good stuff like that. It works out.
Yeah,
nice.
when you called me, I was driving up to the hunting shack. So I'm in here right now looking at a bunch of beautiful mule deer.
Well, I'm glad somebody's got them. I had over 30 plus people came through the yard this year during the rifle season. And every one of them said, there's no deer out here. I said, I could have told you, I could have saved you an entire day of walking, and I could have told you that. I said, but there's certain pockets around the Badlands that really got decimated by deer last year, and it affected the mule deer to the point where a lot of people that are getting something, right? I mean, small ones, there's some issues with these mule deer. There really is. So it's probably the lowest it's been in around the ranch here that I've seen in over 15 years.
Yeah, that's depressing to hear. I don't like hearing that anywhere. But no. I mean, our up here at our place, we got plenty of them. There's lots and lots of does, and there's a lot of New York deer. The next year's.
Yeah.
But big ones. There was some big ones when the season started, but I don't know. There's some guys around who do a lot of bow hunting. They might have got them, or some road hunters might have got them, because I haven't seen anything, big that I would shoot. I mean, but I still got my bow tag.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I didn't even try to go with my rifle because there was just nothing going. And I have a gratis tag, so I mean, I'm kind of limited to the small area that I own, right? Because that's what I put in on. So. A lot of people don't realize just because you have a gratis tag doesn't mean you're going to fill your tag. And that was the true thing this year. There was absolutely zero deer on the property that I owned. So, but
my dad has a gratis. He never filled his either. I mean, he could have, but like I said, there was nothing big enough that he wanted. So
I couldn't even find a doe, Jamie.
Man, that is unbelievable.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably could have hung a rope out my shack window a few times and roped the doe for you here, but
I want to see that on video. Hey, before we get into talking some gun control stuff, do you know what the Mile High Club is?
Yes.
All right. So everybody listening that understands what that is, I have a different Mile High Club. Okay. Like, I mean, that's when you're 5,280 feet above the ground, right? And you know what that means. But today, between my daily programs and my Saturday programs, today is my 5,280th show.
Wow. Congratulations. Buddy.
Since I started up that way. So there you have it.
That's a lot of shows right there.
Every once in a while
I
figure it out and I'm like, I've been at it for 15 years already. So ever since
awesome,
good old Tony Dean passed away, that's when I started up. Some people asked me to start up, and by golly, it worked out pretty good that way. Another guy mentioned, he said second year in a row he had gratis tag soup. Me too. I didn't even hunt last year because of the EHD and how much it decimated it. But let's move on. All right, I've been hearing on the news a lot, the mass shootings, okay? And that confuses me a little bit too, because no matter what happens, everything is a mass this and a mass that, but I think they have that word mass overutilized a little bit. But anyway, I've heard now, instead of just doing quote unquote assault rifles, right? They're going to use all semi-auto firearms is going to be their next attempt at banning. And, somebody once told me, you throw enough, on the wall, eventually something of it's going to stick. They've been throwing this stuff on the wall for a long time, and it's getting closer and closer and closer. to something sticky. What's your take on this whole thing?
Well, I've been saying it for years. It's not just a certain kind of gun. They definitely want all of them. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Anything's, like you use the weapon of war as an assault rifle, but as you know, bow and arrow was a weapon of war. Musket was a weapon of war.
Absolutely. Crossbows. My 1903 Springfield was a weapon of war. It actually came from military use.
How many Americans died in the Civil War from a single shot musket
or a
it's
sword?
A weapon of war.
Yeah.
Or a sword. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, they want to do that, and then they'll hope people will go along with it and think that's where they're going to stop, but they won't. Biden said he's not going to quit trying to ban 9mm pistols, and now, like you say, it's every semi-automatic because that's what they associate with mass shootings. Mm-hmm. Wow, I mean, there's been a number of mass shootings without semi-automatics that have killed 10 people and wounded. I mean, do you think they're going to quit then? They're going to be like, well, that's okay. He did it with a bolt-action hunting rifle. Well, no, they're not, because then they're going to go for that.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's so yeah. There's no doubt about it. They're going to keep trying, and hopefully, there is a small portion of the Republican Party that support gun control, but I don't know how that's going to be in the Senate. The House, I'm quite certain nothing will pass the House, but I don't know how it goes in the Senate. But the way it's going to be looking like 50-50, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But you're going to have two Democrats as well, Sinema in Arizona and Manchin in West Virginia, who are going to be up in 2 years. And those are pretty high gun owner states. Are pretty big supporters of the Second Amendment. So I don't know if they'd go along with anything like that.
Yeah.
But remains to be seen. But yeah, just don't ever forget people that they want them all. I'll promise you they do. And there's some people who support some gun control. And that's what they're looking for. Wow, you can have those, but as long as I have my 3-shot deer rifle and my double barrel bird gun, then that's fine with me. But
there's a lot of those people. A lot of those people.
Yeah. Well, that's the people in England and in Australia, how they restrict your ownership of those as well, and make you jump through a bunch of loopholes just to own them, and look over your social media accounts like they're doing in New York now with the concealed carry and making every place a sensitive area where you can't carry your gun. And the battle's never going to end. I mean, it's no matter what happens in any court case or who's president. I mean, the people who want your guns are never going to stop coming. So, it's like people like you and me got to keep talking about it.
Yeah. One guy just commented, he said, when you take my knife away, you can have my guns. Why so quiet on the stabbings that are still going unsolved? And I think, what was it, last week? There was a mass stabbing. There was 2 people that got stabbed, and they call that a mass stabbing. And so maybe I'm wrong. Am I thinking wrong, Jamie? I mean, the Walmart thing, 6 people got shot, and they call that a mass shooting. And,
right.
But if 6 people gather and protest, they don't call that a mass protest. I mean, am I thinking wrong here? I mean, I'm like, maybe I'm a little bit desensitized to living where I'm at here, but I'm thinking they're overusing this whole thing to make it sound worse. I mean, don't get me wrong. Shooting anybody is bad, but I think they're trying to play on people's emotions a little bit more.
I think they changed it now to say anything with 4 or 5 people get shot or more, it's a mass shooting. Well, you're right. They are saying that to make everybody think this mass shootings are just going hog wild everywhere. Well, a lot of this is like gangbangers doing drive-bys or these nightclub shootings where, there's a bit of mass shooting at a nightclub. Well, yeah, because it was people doped up and drunk and their rival gangs and they shot them. Well, that's a mass shooting to people like you and me who have common sense is like, what happened probably at Walmart. Okay. I agree that's terrible. And that is a mass shooting, but they're trying to lump everything in, like you say, to be a mass shooting. So they think there's this huge issue and we need to get the guns out of the way and that's going to stop it, which is ridiculous. The knife thing. Yeah. 4 people got stabbed tonight. All these 4 college kids, which is terrible. But do you hear Joe Biden coming out and saying we got to ban knives now?
Just wait.
Wait.
Yeah. So what you look at, you can pretty much use anything You know, like Eric says, Cain killed Abel with rocks and with a rock. You know,
Yeah.
so I mean, if you look back in the history, right? I mean, everything is a weapon of war, and I mean, everything
But
can be used as that.
it can be used, and it has been used as a weapon of war. Just
Yeah.
you know, you got to try and get people's mind wrapped around that, because you know, I'll give that. Gunners have done a good job of making semi-automatics a weapon of war.
Mhm.
Well, Chris Kyle, everybody knows that show, right? American Sniper. What was he using? Bolt action rifle.
Yep.
You know, I'm sure he got some with a semi-auto too, but most of his confirmed kills were with I believe it was a custom-made McMillan 300 Win Mag.
Yep.
So the bolt action, every 300 Win Mag, that's a deer. Well, in fact, I sold your father-in-law 300 Win Mag for shooting deer and antelope, right?
He uses it for everything. Yeah. I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
And it's weapon of war. It's a weapon of war. And if semi-automatics are gone and they start using those, then they're going to come with those. They're going to come after those. I mean, you got to be vigilant against stuff. I mean, most people don't pay that much attention to it, and that's what these guys play on. But you know, unfortunately, it's hooked me in, and I can't not pay attention to it. You know, somebody's got to do it.
Text comes in, says you'll never keep weapons out of a criminal's hand. I agree. Eric says they're also trying to make it dramatic. I wonder how the numbers compared to the Old West. I was thinking that the other day. All right, I forget what show I was watching. I can't remember what show I was watching, but it was an old Western show, you know, or attempted to set back in that old timey era. And we always wonder how accurate these things are. You know, when somebody had an issue, you went out and solved it, right? If you wanted this or that. I mean, there was the fight against different tribes of Indians, Indians against Indians, whites against Indian, whites against whites. I mean, there was a lot of different things going on back then. And there was less media and everything to I wonder how those numbers would compare. I bet you we're a lot lower nowadays per capita, right, than it was back then. I mean, there's no doubt.
You think so?
I think so.
I think that's something to look into. Maybe I'd be interested.
I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, but I mean, if you would do it per cap, I mean, back then there wasn't as many populated areas, right? I mean, so you have to do it by ranks of population, I would think.
Yeah, well, I'll have to check into that and see. But while you're talking about that, guess what? Got revolver, weapon of war. Lever action rifle, Grandpa's old lever action, weapon of war.
Wow.
There's two more of them for you to ban, which
my muzzle loader, weapon of war.
Weapon of war, yeah. And you know, anything, let's just say they did ban semi-automatics and we all had our bolt actions. I have bolt action rifles that take a detachable magazine. I'm pretty sure you do.
Yep.
Then you know what they say? Wow, well, you can reload too quick. We can't have that. You know, they tried that crap in California. They still got it with that bullet button thing. Yeah. You know, or you got to load them through the top like you're putting them in. But it's just annoying how they keep coming at it. I mean, you know, it gives me something to talk about, I guess. But I'm kind of distracted right now because there is actually a nice mule deer buck walking right below my shack here.
Okay, so there's a mule deer buck. You have your archery tag. Let's hear it on air. Let's hear you sling an arrow.
Well, I do have a crossbow, but that baby doesn't reach 200 yards.
Come on, everybody says crossbows are so easy.
Yeah, well, I can tell you that let's talk about crossbows for a little bit, about hunting with them.
Sure.
So if you do shoot and miss, it's not like just knocking another arrow. I have to have a cocking string that I wrap around, right?
Mm-hmm.
And carrying a crossbow around, if you're going to spot and stock, which is usually what I do here on mule deer, those suckers are way heavier than a regular bow. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
You know, I can tell you that. So it's not as, you know, it's not as convenient as you think. Can I shoot farther? Yeah, like everybody thinks I shoot 100 yards. My scope on it, I can shoot to 60. I'm pretty confident, you know, but past there, I've never shot it past 60 yards because I don't have, you know, like you got your pins on a regular bow, your aiming pins. No, it's like a scope, you know, rifle scope with the drop reticles. And as far as holding it up, like I said, mine is heavy. Back when I shot a regular bow, I thought it was actually easier to offhand a regular bow than it is a crossbow because the damn crossbow is so heavy.
Yeah. Well, I've only shot a crossbow one time, and that was inside the hotel in Rapid City,
Mm-hmm.
and at an NRA event. We had to test it out. I mean, if you're gonna raffle it off or auction it off, you got to test the products, right? And
Right.
then I got in trouble with the hotel people, and they it was worth
I mean,
it.
they're fun to shoot too.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong; crossbows are fun. I think shooting regular bows was fun too. I just, I don't get the people think, like that's cheating. I never got over that. It just gives you more of an ethical shot if you do. I mean, if you do have a nice, like if I do sit in a ground blind with mine, I have a tripod that I set it on, which, well, that's cheating too. Well, it's cheating to get a better shot at something. I can't wrap my mind around that.
Here's the thing that gets me is when somebody tells me, and I don't care. I don't hunt with a crossbow. I don't care who hunts with what, as long as you're out hunting. All right. Well, let's continue hunting. Let's get together as hunting society and support each other, because we're always it seems like everybody's at each other's throats, right? But the argument that I like is, well, this new technology, these crossbows, and I'm like, do you realize crossbows have been around since like 600 BC? It's not a new technology.
Yeah.
They're
old. They're not new. Well, they say that about AR-15s too, and they were invented in the 50s. So.
Yeah. Or I like when people think that AR stands for automatic rifle or assault rifle, instead of Armalite Rifle Company.
You get a 30 clip assault magazine that goes in there, right?
Yeah. Assault magazine, assault clip. Yeah, I like it.
Oh.
All right. So did your deer season fare out well? Did you end up getting your rifle tag, or did you have a rifle tag?
I had a doe tag. I did not. I could have easily, but I didn't. But the people that I hunt with, my uncle Dean, he shot. Man, it was the biggest mule deer he's ever got. It was a beauty. I'd never put tape to it, but I'm pretty sure 170 or 171 ish.
Nice.
And my buddy Rob, he got his biggest mule. This is all an opening weekend, actually. He got his biggest mule deer too. And then my buddy Trav, who was looking for he was looking for the big one.
Mm-hmm.
His tag's still sitting in my camper, actually. So he didn't get one. And like I said, my dad never did fill his gratis, and I didn't, but it was fun. I thoroughly enjoy deer hunting season, the whole atmosphere around it and everything that goes on. And just watching deer, I enjoy the heck out of that too.
Just watching any kind of wildlife is kind of fun, isn't it? I'm feeding my cows now in our winter pasture in the deep badland stuff, and every time every morning I go out and feed cows, I stop on top and I start glassing all the breaks and down inside the canyons, and it's just kind of fun to see, granted there's only maybe 2 or 3 mule deer that I can see, but there's a lot of other wildlife running around out here. There's no doubt.
We never did get a coyote either. We usually get a coyote or two during deer season, but there is 5 of them running around here. Like I was telling you before I came on, I was actually trying to go get one yesterday. I seen him. I was going to put a stock on him, and then I was trying to get some video of it. Well, I messed that up, but it turned out there was a huge porcupine down here mowing on the trees. And there's not a lot of trees in North Dakota, so if you're a porcupine and you're eating trees, you're not going to be breathing long around me. So I got the bonus plan. I got a couple of those, and then on the way back in, I seen another one in the tree. So I actually got 3 of them there.
Yeah.
Yesterday. So
well, I hope
saving the trees, man.
I will send that guy that hates me for killing porcupines. I'll send him your way so you can have some of the glory of having an on-air show to where you get some of that here. What was I going to throw at you? Oh, if you have that many coyotes next weekend, the 2nd and 3rd is the Christmas for Kids coyote hunting tournament in Killdeer. So they take all the money and they buy Christmas gifts around the local areas for families that can't quite afford them. So there you go. That's a way to get rid of those coyotes and help out the local children too.
I would say too that we were kind of talking.
Well, I'm going to have you hold that thought until after the, we'll continue on YouTube, Jamie. Stay with me. Jamie Brecht here filling in. Appreciate that. Guns and the 701 is his podcast. Also coming up your way. We're going to continue a little bit afterwards on YouTube. Make sure to check out my daily program, DakotaPrairieOutdoors.com, all across these radio stations and 20 other ones. Eat some meat, drink some milk, have yourself a great weekend. All right, stations, thank you guys. Appreciate it. Todd, thanks for the heads up on that. I didn't know that. Sorry about that, buddy. Jamie, continue on.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Now we're just now we're just YouTube, so we can be a little more like yourself. But I only have about 10 minutes. I got to hook up a trailer and go help a neighbor move some cows.
No problem. I'm gonna do some video on these bucks, and I was just gonna tell everybody, if you are a bow hunter yet, the rut's on here like I haven't seen it all year. So I'm watching. When I'm done talking, I'm gonna be there, and they're chasing these does around. I got 3 bucks down here in this quarter. They're just herding these does around. I'm waiting for them to bang antlers, but that ain't happening yet.
Guy asked me, have you ever seen a magpie land and hop around on the back of a deer?
Yeah, I kept trying to get a video of it this year. I've seen it more times than I ever have. It blows my mind.
Well,
the mule deer just freak out.
I haven't seen that yet.
Why would they do
that? Magpies are scavengers. So if there's anything on their back or whatever, I don't know why they would do it. But honestly, maybe they're stealing some hair for their nest.
I can't stand magpies. Somebody told me to eat pheasant nests out too.
I don't know, but I love magpies in my country because not every coyote has a magpie, or has it? Not every magpie has a coyote, but every coyote has a magpie.
Well, then there's a lot of coyotes out at our place.
Be looking out.
Yeah, I'm glassing as we're speaking here. These deer are going nuts down here. This is actually pretty cool. I'm definitely gonna get some video, and you and I are off the air here.
Okay,
I'll put it on there. But yeah,
well, I got to head too, my friend. I appreciate you coming in and filling in, man. Thank you.
Hey, no problem, Scott. Anytime, buddy. Anytime you want to.